Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is ErnieOrange. We have a great show for you guys today. We are on our first show of 2024. So,
Yeah,
Ernie, this is 2024. We have a lot of goals to hit this year, right?
there really is, man. We're excited for 2024 season. A lot of great baseball news coming up for this off season, and we can't wait. A lot of news with Shohei Ohtani being with the Super Team Dodgers, and how much hate are these MLB fans really having that he has signed with
Heck,
the Dodgers?
yep, we're gonna get a lot of hate, and especially being a fan, it's gonna suck. But anyway, let's get into it, man. We're gonna talk about the Orioles. Do they have the best starting rotation in the AL East or in the entire baseball with Corbin Burnes going there? We have Scott Boras. What's going on with him? He's an agent. He has his players, and no one has signed yet. We'll talk a little bit about that. Anthony Rendon said what? We'll talk
Okay,
about Anthony Rendon. I mean, you're an Angels fan, so we can talk about that. Mookie Betts, getting a lot of heat for what he said in Fan Fest, and we'll get a little bit into that, and we'll talk about Mookie Betts and Jock Pederson. It's one of those things where he said something out there in Arizona on Instagram post, and we'll talk about that as well. And then Josh Hader to the Astros, which I feel is a little bit quiet, but we'll get a little bit into that. And the last thing we're going to do today, we're going to do a little bit of trivia to Ernie, and I'll go ahead and post it. And if you guys are out there and can help Ernie and figure out this trivia questions, that'll be a lot of fun. All here. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that like and go ahead and comment. We're all here. We're going to have fun, talk about baseball. But let's go get into the show first. And dude, it's been a long time since we haven't got on. We got on the last 2 weeks or the last week of December, right? I think that was the last
right.
time we got on. So yeah,
Where
man, this is the first show of 2024. So we should be excited.
where have you been, Carlos? The world's been missing you, man. We have a lot of baseball news, and I have no one to talk to. And all the fans, and I've missed talking to you guys here on the show with you guys being live, and missing these comments. But we're excited to be back, and 2024 season's gonna be one of those great ones. Baseball's feeling like it's being exciting again, having super teams being built out there with the Yankees and Dodgers being the top favorites this year. And then you have a brand new Orioles team, young kids, and then they add an ace to the roster, which is amazing. With new
Dude,
ownership, let's go. We'll see what
sorry.
happens, man.
Didn't mean to cut you off right there, but I kind of feel like that trade right there got everybody by surprise because I feel like no one knew this was in the works. And when you heard the Orioles made this move, was kind of like, oh, what? Corbin Burnes to the Orioles. Okay. We said that they needed a veteran presence, and they went and got that veteran presence. And when you're talking about veteran presence, it's not a 34-year-old, 35-year-old. This guy has been a lot of places in the playoffs, and look at him. He's going to the Orioles. He's going to give that presence there, and that's what they need. I think it's going to be a great situation for the Orioles. I know they just got him for 1 year because the trade happened to where he's only owed one more year, but I think this is all in for the Orioles. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. The Orioles are going all for it. The new ownership just came in, bought the team for $1.7 billion, and said we need to put a winning team in the market. We have to find a way to compete with the Yankees year in and year out. And the best thing they could do for themselves is go ahead and trade for Corbin Burnes. They didn't even have to give up their top 5 prospects or anything like that, and they were still able to achieve to get this great player. Once a Cy Young with the Brewers, has been a couple years pitching with sub-2 ERA, and it's a guy that's been proven to win, right? So when you have a starting rotation that's very young and has success last year, why not add a veteran like Corbin Burnes to your roster to just bolster them and help them grow and compete with the Yankees?
Yeah, and you're looking at the starters projected starter rotation. You got Corbin Burnes on top of that list at 339. I mean, these are ERAs sometimes won't mean a lot. You're looking at the whip, like kind of seeing that these pitchers are doing what they need to do, right? And you're looking at Kyle Bradish at 283. Now that's a really good ERA. You want to have probably him, being on top of that rotation. But this rotation is projected. We don't know where it's actually going to happen. We don't know who's going to be the ace of that staff. It's looking like it's going to be Corbin Burnes, right? But who
Yep.
knows, right? We don't know that until the season starts or when spring training starts. We'll be able to see that. What is it, 30 and 30 in MLB? ESPN used to do it. Now
Right.
MLB is doing it, right? So then you have Grayson Rodriguez, which is, he has a high RA, but in the mix, I think he'll settle and get into the rotation, and then John Means and then Dean Creamer. So it's like I think the Orioles have a great starting rotation. Now, the question I have for you in the AL East, and this is one of the questions I feel like a lot of Yankee fans want answered. Do you think that this rotation can compete with the Yankees rotation, or do you think the Yankees rotation can compete with this rotation here from the Orioles?
In paper, the Yankees starting rotation still looks like a top 5 pitching rotation. It's been proven winners. It's just a healthy. If they're healthy, they could compete, right? You got Garrett Cole that went out there and had an MVP season. Carlos Rodon had a really off season with a back injury and never found himself. And
Yeah.
Clark Smith is a young pitcher, up and coming rookie that had a rough start. You know, it's not easy to come as a rookie. There's been a lot of rookies out there struggle in the beginning and they find themselves down the road. But a big signing for the Yankees that was quietly done was a Marcus Stroman signing, which I know that a lot of Yankee fans were like, what the heck? We didn't expect Stroman to come to the team after him talking so bad about the Yankees in the past. But it's a guy that found himself last year with the Cubs, right? And he seemed like really pumped, animated, and he found his groove. And it was just besides that injury he had in the middle of the season. But other than that, I think this Yankee team could still compete, Carlos. You still have Nasty Nestor in the middle of the lineup that everybody seems to forget. And he was once a Cy Young consideration, once an unhittable pitcher. So if you have to ask me right now, man, I just worry for Corbin Burnes coming to the AL East. I have a feeling that, hey, man, this is the AL East. This is not the NL Central anymore. This is American League East is competitive out there. The Rays know how to hit. The Red Sox are having an off year, but the Blue Jays also have a strong team, and you have a Yankee team that's ready to compete. And now you add Juan Soto there, and that lineup looks healthier with Judge coming back. And every time Judge is healthy, guys, he's going to hit some bombs, and we already know this.
Yes.
It's unfortunate last year he was kind of hurt, but, man, I still taking the Yankees, man. I don't know what about you?
Dude, okay. So you said Marcus Stroman, he came from the NL Central from the Cubs. So he had a great first half. Once he hit the second half, he kind of faded away a little bit, got tired out. Remember, there was a WBC played beginning of the season, so that could be one of the reasons. I'm hoping that's not the case for the Yankees, because if it is the case for the Yankees, then the second half you kind of have to watch out. I feel like the Yankees are not done, and peep this, man. I feel like the Orioles are not done either. If the Orioles go ahead and still go and get like a dealing C's on a trade, you know, that still can happen. Even the Yankees can still have them. But if the Orioles can get Dylan Cease, or they can even get a Snell in that rotation, I would definitely be picking to be the best starting rotation in the major leagues, only because of those trades. So you have Burnes that you traded for, which I feel like they didn't give up a lot of stuff. They give up a draft pick, and they give up two prospects, which was not that much. I feel like the Orioles are all in, and you said they have a new owner, so that's a good thing. But right now, I still feel like both those teams need to make one move, and whoever makes that move, I think is going to be the top. So right now, who I'm picking to be the top, and that's only because they won a great number of games in the season, I'm picking the Orioles. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like both answers are right, man. It's like it's a team that won 101 wins without Corbin Burnes. And there's another pitcher they added, Carlos, that was not mentioned in the list we had. Jack Flaherty also was added to the roster. So he's also another veteran presence at pitcher. He kind of had an off year last year, but it's a guy that has some nasty stuff out there. And then they added a closer like Craig Kimbrel, which we know how he pitches in the closing innings. We don't know what we're going to get out of him, right? But it's a guy that's been there before, and it's a proven veteran. And that's what they needed last year. That's what was a missing piece for the Orioles. And last year, the Orioles went in there too young. And I don't know, man. They faced a hot Texas Rangers team, and they just never, could catch up.
That's true, dude. And this is what we were talking about all year long, that they need that veteran presence, and they got it. I said at the beginning of the show, they need that veteran presence. They went in and got it. So if they go ahead and get someone else, I think it'll help out. Only because there's never enough pitching. And, me being here in LA, being a Dodger fan, knows that a lot, knows that pitching's never enough. You want to go ahead and get a lot of pitching, put them in the shelf a little bit, get them injured a little bit, and then bring them in the middle of the season, so that type of thing always happens. So with that, like, do you feel, and I'm kind of moving a little bit forward to where, if the Yankees move a little bit forward, and this is where I'm going to start talking about Scott Boras, because Scott Boras is holding up a lot of free agencies. And, Snell is on that top of the list. If Snell goes to the Yankees, would that solidify him as number one starting rotation?
Oh, without a doubt, Carlos. Even Montgomery in the middle of the line, the rotation. Any of those guys would be a great addition to the Yankee roster. It's 200 million though. Sounds really expensive, and it's too risky if you ask me. That's why I think the Yankees are holding back, and so is the other 30 teams. It's just this fear, man. Scott Boras wants to get the most for their players, and I get it. That's why all these players go to him because they're gonna get paid, right? But he's definitely hurting the game of baseball, man. We're 10 days away from the pitchers and catchers to report to spring training. And we're catching ourselves not knowing where these superstars are heading to. It's kind of sad. These guys should definitely get paid. We know that they're great athletes, but now the question is, was those 1 year wonders, were they just luck, or they really find themselves? And is it really worth the 200 million plus? That's the main question.
Yeah, and it's not just one player that's trying to get that number. You're talking about Cody Bellinger trying to get that number. You're trying to Montgomery trying to get that number. And Montgomery I don't remember him before last year. I'm gonna be honest. So, Snell, yeah,
I remember Montgomery from the Yankees, and honestly, he was pretty weak. Like, nobody really talked about him, man. That's why he got traded. And that's why the Yankees moved on from him. But he found himself in the playoffs and made a name for the Rangers.
Yeah.
And that's what it all matters at the end of the day. Sometimes these players have this one specific run that's remembered by them, and that's how they get paid. So this is how Scott Boras, man. Are you a fan of Scott Boras, though?
Dude, I've always talked bad about Scott Boras, and it's nothing like I don't know the guy, and it's not like something that I met the guy and say, hey, I don't like you. No, I just feel like Scott Boras has to change the game. He's one of the reasons why baseball has become something where you have to pay to get a player. He knows how to represent his players well. He knows how to get that delivered. But for the game of baseball, I just feel like I think that when you talk about contracts and stuff like that, I think you need to kind of set a reasonable price for your player and not hold out all the way to the end of the season because or the off season, I mean, because spring training is around the corner. And I remember last year and 2 years before, even three, I can go as far as 5 years where Scott Boras players didn't sign to the last week of the offseason before spring training started. And that's the common thing and the common trend with this guy. So you're not just talking about these top three players. You're talking about JD Martinez. He hasn't signed with the team, and he's older. And you're talking about Chapman, a third baseman. There's a lot of teams that need a third baseman. You're talking about fantasy baseball too. Like when you're looking at that stuff and you're looking at these players haven't signed, and I'm looking at this player and I'm like, wait, like let's take Cody Bellinger. He hasn't even got an offer. So reports came in and I saw in Bleacher Report, he hasn't even got an offer, dude. So that's kind of like, I feel like, okay, Scott Boras needs to step in and be like, okay, I need to get a realistic contract for Bellinger. Bellinger was an MVP Rookie of the Year. He won the World Series with the Dodgers. But those 2 years after that, he didn't perform. Then he performed with the Cubs. What Cody Bellinger am I going to get?
Right.
Am I going to go ahead and get a 2-year deal with Cody Bellinger? He's going to be 270, 280 hitter. Or am I going to get a 1-year deal with him where he plays MVP baseball again and then he gets his bigger contract? So that's the type of thing I feel like needs to happen. I mean, Scott Boras is one of those things where it's like his players don't sign super early, and I have a problem with that because for our podcast, it doesn't help.
Honestly, the news kind of free agency is not the same with Scott Boras in the picture, man. It's just one of those, we're waiting almost close to March, and we don't want to see these superstars wait into go into the season not having a team. There's no reason these superstars should be waiting this long. You know what I mean? If they're really worth it, go for it. There has to be a way where these players could get some incentives. Maybe have a kind of a decent price, but have some incentives towards, hey, if you achieve certain goals and certain like stats, then we'll go ahead and pay you this extra money. That's personally what I think. That's why I think football contracts are done better than baseball, because the moment they're underperforming, you're just cut and that contract's done. That's why these players go for the guaranteed money sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they just want to guarantee that 50, 60 mil in case a big injury happens. I don't have to continue paying this guy.
And with that, I'll go ahead and go into the Witt Merrifield, Bobby Witt Jr. Sorry, and this one is a young star. There's a lot of players and a lot of people talking about don't give contracts to young guys because they're gonna do all these bad things and they're gonna get caught with steroids. They're gonna get caught doing stupid things that stupid young kids do. We were young
Right.
once, So with that, I just feel like Bobby Witt Jr. agrees a contract extension with the Royals. He's going to get a great contract. I feel like he's going to be one of the good things with the Kansas City Royals, because remember, we talked about the Royals earlier in the season, or not even in the season. I think this happened in December, where they went ahead and signed a little bit of pieces for the team to be good and competitive in the season, because the AL Central is not a competitive
Yeah, man.
division. I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. What do you think about this contract, and do you see this contract paying off?
Oh, it's a totally great payoff for the Orioles, man. They're proving that they want to win, right? The AL Central's up for grabs. This is a once in a lifetime you could compete. You have a 23-year-old shortstop that has been proven to be really great. Has hit 30 home runs, 49 stolen bases last year, batting over 276. What kind of guy don't you want for your roster like that, man? It's 23 years old. Why not sign him? Why not sign him now when you could pay so much cheaper? They're
Yeah,
learning from the Braves. That's how it worked out for them. That's how they've been able to build a super team in Atlanta, because they've been able to sign their players really young. Bobby Witt has demonstrated to be like the next top shortstop in our league, and why not go all in with him? And you adding Michael Walker and Seth Lugo and spending over $105 million in contract signings. The Royals are all in, and I'm happy to see Kansas City trying to bring another World Series to that city, which is amazing.
that's true. Harvey Vasquez, hey man, how's it going, dude? Yeah, we're back. If you haven't hit that subscribe button or that like button, go ahead and do that now. Javi, I know you're doing the fantasy with Will Power. Those come on Thursday night. I believe is going to be the day that they're going to go ahead and post those shows. If you're into the fantasy baseball, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get notice that, hey, this is happening right now. But this is a live show today. We do answer questions on the MLB news. Even if we have a little bit of the fantasy news, it's okay. We can go ahead and answer. I'll reach out to Will and be like, hey, man, what's this? What's that? And we can
For
go
sure.
ahead and do that. But yeah, it's all the same show. We're all real talk baseball, and we like talking baseball, man. And this is the first show of 2024. We're happy, but I think I agree with you, Bobby Witt Jr. Contract is going to be one of those contracts where we see this kid grow and we see him play a lot better. He's only going to get better from here. You say he's only 23 years old, so the sky's the limit for this kid. We don't even know where the ceiling's at for this kid yet.
Dude,
And
this guy's like the top keeper in fantasy, like number one.
really,
Like, yes, you want the shortstop? Bobby Witt is the answer.
damn, there you
I
go.
know, I'm not sure how most people feel that way, but I know Bobby Witt. Why not a 23-year-old stud like that? Why not take him in your roster?
Yeah. There you go. Ernie said it here, so go ahead and listen to that. Hey, but I do agree. Like those little signings that they got Lugo, they got what's it, Waka.
Right.
They did a good job. They did a good job, and that's a competitive roster to go into 2024. And I agree with you, dude. I think it's going to be a great season for the AL East. I mean AL Central, which is a good thing because we're kind of seeing the AL East and the AL West kind of like already competing. Is we're
Right.
waiting for the AL Central to do it. We have more news on this, and this one's just going to talk about the Dodgers, and I'll go ahead and let you talk about this one because this one's Mookie Betts,
Oh, Mookie.
and FanFest happened this weekend, and I didn't get to go. I never go to FanFest though. Like I feel
Why?
like it's just I don't know. I just feel like there's too many people. There's too many people that are just like, oh, I want your autograph, and I don't know. I've never been to FanFest. I've never been part of that. Maybe if one day they invite us and be like, "Hey, you guys want to be part of it?" Then yeah, I'll do
For
it. But
sure.
I just feel like I don't know, dude. Too many people. I think there was like 35,000, I believe, and they were
Damn.
paying They were paying $10 a ticket, which is all going to go to charity, which is pretty good. The
Which is not
brand,
bad.
the Los Angeles brand right now is top. And when you see your fans being happy and excited to go to these events, it's crazy. It makes you believe that the team is heading the right direction. They're investing in their brand, they're investing in their players, and they're doing what they need to do. And one of the interviews, we saw, and it was Mookie Betts. And I'll let you take this one because I'm a Dodger fan.
Oh,
I got different feelings about this one, but go ahead.
man, I feel like Mookie trapped himself here with this answer. He said every game's gonna be the other team's World Series, and I mean I totally agree. Every team wants to be the Dodgers. They are the biggest villain in baseball right now. They did go ahead and spend over $1.2 billion compared to any other team has never even gotten this close in spending. So I totally agree why every other team is ready to beat the Dodgers. But man, even looking at this roster right now, do I think the Dodgers have the best roster? No. I still think the Braves have a better team out there to compete than them. It's just hand in hand. So, man, I don't know, man. I feel like it's a trap, and I'm just I just remember last year's Fan Fest with the Padres and what happened there. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? At the end of the day, I feel like the Dodgers shouldn't worry about the 162 games. They just need to focus in the playoffs, man. Because last year they had a terrible performance. It was one of the worst performances I've seen in Dodgers history in the playoffs. Man, I saw more fans at the Dodgers Fan Fest than I did when I was at the NLDS game last year. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? Like, there was more fans. Obviously, Shohei signed with the Dodgers, and it brings more excitement to the Dodger fans. But I was there for game 2, man. And when those Diamondbacks were beating the Dodgers, the fans knew it was done. Like, they were leaving. Like, seventh inning, they're like, it's freaking cold in LA, October time. We're heading out. And you saw Dodger Fan Fest. I bet not a single soul left in time. So, I mean, like, man, I don't know what you think, Carlos. Are you a big fan of what Mookie said? I know he's getting a lot of backlash, and a lot of people are hoping the Dodgers don't win.
Yeah.
Because we all want to root against a super team, and we all want to root for the underdog sometimes. And I know I'm going to ask you this, because I know the Dodgers have always been a team to be the underdogs. They've always been the underdogs to the Yankees back in the 50s and 60s. And now we flip the script, and the Dodgers are the villains. Like, what the hell just happened here?
So the way I feel about this is that what Mookie Betts said is not wrong. I think it's true, and it's been true for the past 5-6 years.
Okay.
I think the Dodgers have put a target on their back since then. They have a great organization, and I feel like this is one of the things that I feel like a lot of fans don't understand, except the Yankee fans, because the Yankee fans have been that hated brand for a long time. And I use brand a lot because I feel like the brand is what's selling. I feel like it's deeper than just the baseball playing and the baseball games and all this stuff. Yes, you have your team, but you have to sell hats, you have to sell jerseys, and the Dodgers are going to make all that money back. And, so they're going to be able to pay Ohtani, they're going to be able to pay Yamamoto, they're going to be able to pay other players that wants to come to LA. You still have Freeman and Betts on there. You already had a stud lineup. So you're adding you're adding these two guys in there so you can try to push to get a little bit further in the playoffs. So do I feel that Mookie Betts said something wrong? I didn't. I know Dave Roberts said it 2 years ago. Hey, we're going to win the World Series. And I think that was wrong. I think that kind of set a tone where now you're putting a bigger target in your back. And Mookie Betts is just saying the truth. He's just stating the facts. He's just saying when Colorado steps into that field at Dodger Stadium, or we go out to Colorado's going to play their A game. You see it with the Lakers. You see it with the Lakers.
Yeah.
You see it with all these big teams, any sport. And the Dodgers are that brand now. So I don't see Mookie Betts getting super backlash. Of course, if you're not a fan, you're gonna kind of hate that he said that, and if you're a fan, you kind of defend it. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? So, that's what I feel about that. But I think he's okay. I think once they get to the playoffs, we'll get to see. I don't think they're the best team yet because I need to see it perform on the field. I'm one of those that I see it on paper, that looks great and all, but I rather see it on the field. And once I see it on the field, then I'll be like, yeah, this is legit, dude. This is what they went and spend this money on. They went without these guys.
And that's the thing, Carlos, right? Like in paper, all these rosters going into the season, every team's roster, you look at a paper like, man, this is a squad. They won. You're like, once the injuries come though, halfway through the season, that's when you're like, damn, we need to add more here. All these missing pieces you start finding here and there, right? And it's crazy. Yep. So it's not until they perform. Obviously, they're going to have a hot start. I mean, it's the Dodgers. Come on, man. There's no way they're going to have off to a slow start. And for other news today, I'm not sure if you guys are aware. I guess I should just bring it up. Ryan Brazier signed with the Dodgers on a 2-year, $9 million contract. A guy that was let go from the Boston Red Sox last year, 20 games in, was playing terrible out there, found himself with the Dodgers and was able to pitch 0.7 ERA and 39 games. And you're like, how did you able to change your game just like that in the middle of a season? Dodgers find a way to bring them back. But unfortunately, Caleb Ferguson, the lefty reliever, got traded to the Yankees to make room for him, which is, was one of those relievers that we're kind of used to seeing come in and out all the time.
So. You know what's crazy, dude? I kind of didn't like that he had to leave. But if you're going to make room for a guy that only has a low ERA and he found himself again, remember, Brazier was with the Red Sox in that 2018 World Series, and he
Yes.
dominated in those playoffs. So we have him on our team again. We had him last year. He's going to do great things. I know. What's it? Ferguson is leaving to the Yankees. He's a lefty, and Yankees do need lefties out there, so that's going to help out. I hope these minor leaguers we got him for can pan out later on in the Dodgers history. But I don't think we need them right now. I think it's going to be a long time before we get to see some rookies step it up, unless an injury happens. Then that's when we're going to start seeing some things like that. Let's get into another one. We talked about Anthony Rendon, and Anthony Rendon said something kind of crazy, like,
Oh no.
what was it, like 3 weeks ago? And I kind of agree with what he said, but
What?
knowing that Rendon didn't play last year because he had an injury and he didn't disclose what injury he had.
So he had a shin injury, right?
Yeah,
And then he just took like 2 weeks off, and then he just never came back. And you're like, so what happened? There's other players with the same injury that were already back in the field, and he was just not nowhere to be found. So
yeah,
Anthony Rendon wants less baseball, but he still wants to charge $38 million though. So I'm like,
yeah.
man,
So
that's a
I
lot of
just
money.
feel like, and I talked to you before, we've talked about the season being a long. If you talked to me 5 years ago, I'll probably be like, nah, man, they need to play the 162. But looking at it, I think there's other ways that they can go ahead and make those games up, like in a tournament or something like that. The WBC is played at the beginning of the season, and we saw a lot of injuries and a lot of people blaming it, and it's like, that's worthless. We shouldn't have this tournament. Why do we have the tournament? No one's watching the tournament. And I was excited about it. And not just me, there was a lot of baseball fans excited about it. So
Right.
maybe we need to have 148 games and have that WBC be the All-Star game instead of, the All-Star game we have now, which is not counted for anything. I just feel that way. But the guy that said it didn't set well for a lot of baseball fans, right? That's what
Right.
happened.
You're right. I mean, if Anthony Rendon was playing 162 games regularly every year, I think we would be like, you know what? I think he's probably making a right choice by saying that, right? But
Yeah.
just the fact that the past 4 years, the guy has played like less than 1/4 of his games with the Angels uniform, and getting paid 7 years, 245 million, and just asking to play less baseball. I don't know how Ron Washington's gonna feel about that, man. He's very old school, and he wants these players to give it their all. So I
Mhm.
really hope that he changes up Rendon's mindset going forward and tells them, hey, if you don't want to play, well, there's a door, man, because there's a lot of young kids out there that really want this opportunity, and you're taking a spot for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he wants to get paid, dude. So who doesn't want to get paid?
Right.
So I don't see him going anywhere unless he has a nice season and there's a team out there that wants him where the Angels can unload the payroll. But I highly doubt it, only because of how he handled these injuries and how he handled himself in this
Mhm.
injury. So I just feel like he got a little bit of I don't know. He got a little bit of hate, dude. I'm just gonna say that. I just feel like
I mean, he also went
he
at
did
it with the fans, so you know that he also looked kind of like the
in
villain out
Oakland.
there in Oakland,
Yeah,
starting
I
fights out there. Poor Shohei didn't know how to react. He was like, "Man, this is not for me. I'm walking out."
he walked right in front of him. Remember, he was just,
Yeah.
oh, I think he was behind him, and Benji Hill was right behind him too. And I think he's like, "What's going on here?" And then I think Benji Hill came back. He was like, "Hey, dude, let's go, man. Don't touch no one." I think he touched someone, and he's like, "What you say? What you say?" I mean, we posted the video. If you've
We
seen
both-
it, cool. Go to our Instagram; it should be on there. Go to our TikTok; it should. I think definitely is on there. So you'll be able to see that. So another player that got backlash and he's in the hot seat is Jock Peterson, dude. Jock
Oh
Peterson,
no.
posted a picture of himself in the Diamondback uniform. Remember, he played for the Dodgers. He went to Atlanta. He played for the San Francisco Giants. And, that's his hometown. San Francisco is his hometown, which a lot of people from LA hate that he's a Giants fan, but that's the truth. Jock Peterson's my boy. I even said it, dude. That's my boy. Whenever they win the World Series, I'm going to go ahead and get that jersey, which I didn't because they didn't make those jerseys. It sucked, dude. It sucked, but yeah, it is what it is. But Jock Peterson, I guess he liked the comment, and I'll go ahead and read that comment for you. So the comment said, "I don't blame you for leaving San Francisco. The whole city turned into, a poop emoji." They put. So
Okay.
I think what's happening here is I think is like a lot of players are kind of mentioning what's going on in San Francisco. It's not just the reporters saying, "Oh, a lot of people don't want to go to San Francisco." It happened with Aaron Judge; he didn't sign there. Carlos Correa, I mean, he had that knee problem that came up, so that's why he didn't get that contract. And then you're talking about other players, like trying to put the Otani, I guess Otani not signing there either.
Right.
So they're saying that San Francisco is not a place to go. You have all these wives of these players saying that when you go there, they get mistreated and that they don't, feel safe. And I went there 2 years ago. So I guess it's now 3 years ago. And I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, I just felt it was the same thing as like has been every year. So
Okay.
I don't know what's going on in San Francisco. I feel like Buster Posey even came out and said, I kind of don't like it, but he's not getting backlash anymore because he's not a player. He's not playing
Right.
right now. But do you feel like MLB needs to do something about that, or do you feel like the city is I don't know. I'm lost of words on this one.
I just feel like the MLB can't control that. You know what I mean? I think I was gonna call him Young Jock, but uh,
He's not young anymore.
Jock Peterson, he has love for his hometown. So does Buster Posey. They grew up in San Francisco when it was his glory days.
Yep.
When San Francisco was once talked about a great city in California, known for his beautiful images, Golden Gate Bridge, the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
This is a really great city, and watching it being torn apart and not being safe anymore for them and their fans or their families. I think that's where they're voicing their concerns, and they're trying to say, hey, man, I don't know if I really want to come play here for situations like that. But I could totally get it, man. We have love for a city, and then you see it just turned upside down. It's unfortunate, man, but that's out of our control. I think it's more politics, and that's not what we focus on here. So,
Yeah.
but as a baseball player, I think you just want to go up there and play baseball, and you got to get a chauffeur, man, to feel safe. I think that's the only way to do it.
I think so, dude. So look, man, I grew up in Compton. I think it's no secret. Everybody knows that. I mean, I posted up there. I had that show already where Will and and if you want to say where you're from, Ernie, it's all welcome. But I grew up in Compton. Every time I go back, I feel like okay. I go back to the city and I see like no, it's not getting any better. You want it to get better. You
Right.
want it to get better, but it's not. And I understand Jock Peterson feeling like this is my city. I grew up here, but no way I'm playing here the way the city is. No way I'm gonna buy a house here because it's just not, up to standard what he feels is safe. So that's the way I feel. Like I feel like when I go back to Compton, even when I live there, I feel like okay, it's getting better, it's getting better. But when you move out of Compton and you see different things, and you're like, wait, you go back and you're like, nah, this is not safe.
Nah.
This is not the city that I need to live in. So I understand Jock Peterson.
Oh,
More
man.
power to you. I mean, if you're out in the desert now, the houses are cheaper, so California is a little too expensive. All right, let's move on, dude. We do have Josh Hader on here. We haven't talked about him. He agrees to a 5-year deal with the Astros, and I feel like this one's not really talked about a lot. Did
Yeah.
the Astros need another bullpen guy? Did they need a closer?
Well, I think they didn't need a closer, but why not have the best closer in the league? Well, you could get him for a pretty good price. 5-year, $95 million is still under the $100 million radar. You're getting a guy that's pitched 1.82 ERA for the Padres, even when they struggled, right? Imagine what he's going to do in the AOS, a little weaker conference, a weaker division, I mean. And it's a guy that, they have Ryan Presley as their closer, a guy that has been holding it down for the past 5 years. And they let go of some of the relievers, man. They let go of Ryan Stanek, Phil Madden, and Hector Neris is now gone out of the team. They're like, how can we get younger, and why not get the best closer in the league? Ryan Presley is almost approaching 34 years old. He's the oldest bullpen guy in the team. And they're going to just go young, man, with Jose Abreu, Hader, and now Presley. They're the top bullpen, in my opinion, man. Just those three guys, 7, 8, 9 pitchers, unstoppable. The Astros are already, after losing Dusty Baker and the way they went out last year to the Rangers, you just thought, hey, man, I think this the time the Astros are finally going to start going down. And just right when you think that, hey, man, here we go. We're signing the next best thing we have in the bullpen, and we got Josh Hader, unhittable lefty. Man, he throws some scary stuff, Carlos. I don't know how the Astros went ahead and got that, but that's a really quiet signing and really great one for them.
So it was talked about, but it wasn't given a lot of credit. It wasn't given to where like, okay, I felt when I heard the news, I'm like, okay, why did they go ahead and get another closer if you have Presley already there? You should have gone out for something different. But you're looking at their starting rotation, your starting fielding. They don't need no help there. They're ready. They could still beat the Yankees, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So their rotation, they're getting players back from the IL. And
Yeah.
then you're talking about your bullpen. You're trying to get a 4.03 ERA bullpen, trying to get lower with Josh Hader. Dude, that's gonna
And
happen. It's gonna happen. So do I feel like the Astros did something great? Hell yeah, they did. And quietly, because no one expected Josh Hader to go to the Astros. I mean, no one was talking about it. Everybody was talking about the Dodgers. They're going to go ahead and get Josh Hader. They're going to be a super team, which they already are. Or you're talking about the Yankees. He's going to go to the Yankees. Nope. He went to the Astros, and that's just making the Astros a little bit more tougher. Are they going to be in the mix? Hell yeah, they are. And can they beat the Yankees? Is that one of the things that is this bullpen piece going to help the Yankees get to the next level? Because I don't see it. I don't see the Yankees beating the Astros because you have Soto, which is a lefty. I know he hits great against lefties, but Josh Hader, he's a good lefty pitcher, dude. And is that why they made this move? Right?
you never know, man. But you know that the Astros and Yankees face each other every year in the playoffs, and the Yankees just never find a way to beat them.
And that we said that at the beginning of the show. We said that with the Orioles, like who has the better starting rotation,
I
right?
feel like the Yankees could take down the Orioles, but I feel the Yankees cannot take down the Astros.
So they need to make that move that we were talking about, right? They need
Yes.
to add that extra pitcher,
Or
and I still
even
feel
the
that,
bullpen. Emmanuel
yeah,
Clase is out there, and a lot of trade rumors out there with him right now, and he's like the number one closer out there being mentioned. So he's
yeah,
another one that could be traded soon off the market and go with a team that really needs him for the playoffs.
yeah. And Dylan Cease is still out there. I said that at the beginning, like Dylan Cease. I think they're waiting for a call or something. So
They're
go ahead
asking
and
for
make
a
that
lot,
call.
though. I think they're asking for a top 5 prospect, and other teams are pushing back a little bit. And that's why I think the Orioles did the best move of them all, because they get Corbin Burnes with a 1-year rental, Carlos. They don't really have to pay him much. Yeah, they're going to pay him. But this
Yeah,
1 year is going to determine for them how much do we really pay you for a long-term contract.
that's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
is
Yeah,
it
I
really
agree.
worth to keep you, or is it just best to let you go and just use you for that 1 year, one World Series and move on?
Hey, if it gets you a World Series, so look, this is what I heard at some other show. I don't remember what show it was, but they said, look, if you're paying a lot of money for one player and it gets you the World Series, guess what? Your World Series was way way well paid off. Why? Because as much as you're putting into your team, you're going to receive the double of that, and
Yep.
that's what's been happening. So the Astros signing Josh Hader, if they're going to go for another World Series, even though I hate the damn Astros because of the 2017, I just feel like they solidify their way into the playoffs with that, because you have the Mariners. I don't know what they're doing. They're getting rid of some players. I don't know if they have money or not. That's another way. That's another team that Snell would want to go to play, but I don't think they got money for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have the Angels, which I don't know. You can tell me a little bit of Angels. Are they in a rebuilding type of thing, or what's
I mean,
going on there?
yeah, we've really made no signings this year. We've made only small reliever signings. We've signed up to 5 relievers this year. Small 1-year contracts. A lot of guys with a lot of question marks, with pitchers that once were great and then kind of fallen off, and we've signed them. We signed off
Yeah.
Aaron Hicks off the Yankees contract. So I feel like we're paying a lot of guys hoping they turn out to be great, but we haven't really done much. I think Artie Moreno's trying to sell the team kind of quiet, doing it kind of quietly. So he's not sure if he really wants to spend money this year, because if he sells the team, then he doesn't want to be in charge of those contracts. So he wants to
That's
just sell
true.
out the team without money, worrying about the money.
That's true. And then you have the Oakland A's. They'll just go ahead and got Ross Stripling. They traded in the Giants for that. So he's just going to trade off teams. But Ross
Yes.
Stripling is not even a top pitcher, but he's one of those pitchers that you do want to put him in as a two-start pitcher, depending on who he faces in fantasy
Right.
baseball, right? But I
Look at
don't
you,
I
man.
don't see him being.
You got the fantasy tips out there for the fans.
But you don't see him being like a ace, and I think he's going to be the ace in that staff. So the A's have a lot to do. Like they have, I'm thinking of going to Oakland to see the Dodgers play out there, to see the last time that it gets here, because then next year they're gonna play. I think they're talking about in another stadium, not even in the state. So
Yeah.
this is the last year you're going to get to see the A's play in the Coliseum. And if you have tickets, if you have a little bit of money on the side, I suggest you go, man. I think it's a good idea to visit another stadium, and why not that stadium, which we're never going to see again. I think they're going to demolish it after this, I guess.
Yes.
So yeah, it sucks, man. Any other thing that I forgot that we mentioned? Because we talked about a lot of stuff and a lot of news, dude.
We've tried to crush a lot of baseball news from the past couple months into 40 minutes into the show right now. So we've got a lot of things now, man. A lot of other news. Well, Blake Snell, where is he going to sign? That's the main question.
Dude, I'm gonna make a prediction. I told you, and now you already made the post for it. I think he's gonna sign with the Yankees. He's not gonna sign for 200 million. I think he's gonna sign a little bit under that, and he's gonna sign a 6-year deal. The thing is with Snell is that the second or the third time around for batting lineup, they get to him, and he's only pitching 5 innings. You're lucky if you're getting 6 innings out of him. You're gonna
Mhm.
tax your bullpen and paying a guy that much money. You're expecting this guy to pitch into the 6th, 7th inning. That's why Garrett Cole has that contract, So I
Hey,
just
man,
feel like he's going to be a little bit paid under.
as an Angel fan, I'll take him. We'll pay him. I don't care.
Well,
You know,
that's one of the
we,
teams he wants to go to.
I mean, we paid for a bullpen, so as long as he gives us 5 strong, and then our bullpen shuts us out, that's all we really need. We need
Yeah.
the rotation that could go 5 innings plus. So I think that's what the Angels' motto is. But Blake Snell, man, he's still a Cy Young winner, and at the end of the day, he still could throw some nasty stuff, and it's been a proven winner. So it's not money you're gonna spend that's gonna hurt your wallet. He's still gonna bring you some wins. So
That's true. That's true. And we're not going to call any World Series titles yet, or who's going to win the World Series. We'll wait a little bit into the spring training to start, so we can go ahead and give those predictions that me and Ernie are going to give. We probably have someone else come into the show and give those predictions. If you have them, go ahead and put them on the comments, and we'll talk about it. Or if you have other questions, definitely we'll talk about it. But we're going to get into the trivia part of the show. And before I do that, I want to go over the baseball birthdays today. So it is
what?
February 5th, and there's a couple of baseball, birthdays out there that I see. So it's Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron's birthday was today. So if you were born today, you're sharing a birthday with Hank Aaron, Roberto
What?
Alomar, and Max Flack. And if you play Little League at Norwalk, your name is damn. I don't even know if I should say that. No, I'm just playing. James, happy birthday. You're a really tough guy. Dude, you're a good kid, and happy birthday. And I'll go ahead and say this. They call him El Macizo because he hits the ball really hard, dude.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, happy
So
birthday,
there
man.
you
Yeah,
go.
man. Little League here.
Yeah.
Carlos, if you guys not aware, Carlos is a Little League coach. So he's out there grooming the young kids for the next baseball generation.
Hey, I gotta grill him though. I gotta grill him the way they grilled me, dude. I can't just let him go and be like, "Are you okay?" No, none of that. None of that. You gotta be
Oh, okay.
treated. You gotta be treated a little bit tough. You have to be. You have to grow a little bit of thick skin for that. All right, let's get into the trivia. And this one is gonna be for Ernie, and
All
we're gonna
right.
match up the numbers. So match each of the star players with the uniform number. So I'll go ahead and remove the top part so you can see that number there. And that's number 2. So Fernando Tatis Jr., what number does he wear?
Wait, E is missing. I think our logo is blocking number
No,
E.
there's no E. There's no E. There's just
Oh, okay, okay,
ABC.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So Fernando Tatis wears number 23.
Number 23. That's C, right? Boom.
Let's go with
Ding, ding, ding,
C.
ding. You got it. Let's go to Mike Trout. If you get this one wrong,
Oh man, I got my jersey in the closet that no longer fits.
Yeah.
I'll go with D, 27.
Got it. All right, let's go with Vladimir Guerrero.
Another D, 27, like his father.
Damn, got it. Go to the next one. Let's go to Shohei Ohtani.
Oh man, well that's B, 17.
Damn, got it. All right, the last one, Marcus Semien, and this one's on your fantasy baseball. You need to know this one.
Damn.
I'm putting you on the spot.
All right, I'm gonna just guess A in this one.
Got it. Got all of them done, man. That's cool.
All
dude.
right, let's go. Marcus Semien, number 2.
Dude, I don't. If I look at this, I don't think I'll be able to get it. I honestly thought that Fernando Tatis was number 2. I didn't think he was wearing number 23. I'm gonna be honest.
I forgot what number he wore too. Honestly.
Yeah. World Profound, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going? We're back for 2024. We're just giving the MLB news, and we're excited about it. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put them on there. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and just hit subscribe. If you haven't hit the like for us, please. Like, that's the way we continue to do these things live stream. We enjoy it. We enjoy talking baseball, of course. And I mean, you've been here before, so you've seen us. So that's how we get down. But back to this. Like, I think the one that will give me trouble would be Fernando Tatis Jr. And I think because I don't remember him being number 23, but yeah, that's the one, dude. But that's good, dude. You got all of them.
Yeah, I think it's just because Fernando Tatis has been MIA lately. You know, we had dealt with the suspension. We really didn't only saw like half a season of Tatis last year.
Yeah.
And we didn't really see him 2022 either.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while since he's been out of the field, you know, with the suspension, the injury. You know, it's crazy. He missed a big portion of his career there.
So, okay. So, you know how we talked about young players getting contracts, you know, and being young and all that stuff. I wanted to ask you, like, do you feel like that's still a thing? A lot of reporters are coming out and saying that, yeah, they shouldn't get a contract. They shouldn't be talking to these kids because when you really think about it, they're young, dude. They're not set to be grown-ups and understand what they need to do and how to, you know, be professional about these things. When you hand a kid money, what is the first thing they do? Don't spend it all in one store. And what do? They go spend it in one store, and you give them $100. What did you spend it on? You spend it on a freaking thing that you have no idea what it does. You have no idea what it looks like, but it's something small. You're like, that's $100. Like, nah. You want to pay these kids at a reasonable time. And do you feel like maybe that's something that MLB needs to look at or maybe look into?
Yeah, you bring a good point because a lot of these minor leaguers are getting big contracts already. And I get to wonder, like, do they really know how to negotiate yet? You know what I mean? And how do they manage their money as they're being taught in the minor league system? Hey, when you do get that contract, you focus on this and that. And are they already having good agents, you know, because they can't even afford them yet?
Yeah.
So this brings up a lot of good points I didn't think about, but you're right. It's weird to see minor leaguers already getting 7-8 year contracts without even playing a game of baseball yet.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing to see that. Like, wow. And I don't know, man. I hope it all works out because this is going to change the whole game about getting contracts. And these mega contracts are going to probably start earlier now.
Yeah. Gonna start.
I think the
game is getting younger. Go ahead.
Right. We got World Profound saying thoughts on Corbin Burnes to the O. So, yeah, that was one of the first segments of our show. And I think me and Carlos both agreed. We like the trade. It was a very smart move. The new ownership came out there and spent some money. They're not scared to win. And it's awesome for baseball because the Baltimore Orioles are fresh. And, you know, we're excited to see them winning 101 games last year. And imagine what they can do with Corbin Burnes as their ace and their previous Cy Young winner. I know the AL East is not an easy division, but I definitely think that he has what it takes to compete out there. They've also added Jack Flaherty as another veteran. And this is where the missing pieces that the O's really needed. And the greatest thing about all of this that we have mentioned is just that it's a 1-year rental. And he's not going to be paid a full mega contract until he proves himself. So that's great.
And what way to prove himself in the AL East, dude? Like, that's the toughest division to be in. Him being there is just going to make it a little bit more exciting for his offseason if he does great. That's only going to get him and guarantee him a great contract. We just start talking about the young guys getting paid and all this stuff. But I think he's in that right side of getting paid, on that right side of that age to understand, like, I'm mature enough. I understand what's going on. I understand I need a big contract. Of course, if it lines up that he has a great year with the Orioles, and it's a great move for the Orioles as a 1-year rental, like you said. But we agreed. We liked it. World Profound. We really did. We do have Ryan Reyes here. What's up, fellas? What's up, dude? How's it going, man? Welcome back to the 2024 season. Where do you guys think Kike is going, or Old Miss, that combo? So we haven't talked about it. We do feel that Kike might go somewhere else that's not the Dodgers. The Dodgers already spent out. They already have Chris Taylor on that team that can play anywhere in the field. So if they do sign him, it's probably going to be like a minor league contract. I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. The Dodgers don't have a lot of room right now. Remember, they did sign Teoscar Hernandez that's going to be playing left field, right field, center field. They're all over the place. You have Chris Taylor that's going to play the infield. You have Mookie Betts that can play the infield and outfield. So you have a lot of moving pieces right now. And to be honest, I don't know if Kike Hernandez is going to be a Dodger, but I would like to see him as a Dodger because he brings a lot of electricity to the team. You had Matt Kemp come out and said that he would love to play in LA because Kike was one of those, players that was crazy and all these things out there. He made Matt Kemp love baseball again. That's what it was. So
damn, it's awesome, man. Kike brings his energy to the team. It's a Dodger fan favorite, and fans were happy when he came last year in the middle of the season. But I just don't think he has a spot in the team, unfortunately. I just feel like Dave Roberts is going to have a really tough time giving these guys playing time, man. And I really hope that no player gets frustrated because I know the Dodgers are a really selfless team that's non-selfish. Yeah. These guys really care about winning. That's the kind of mentality Dave Roberts pushes on the team. So I really hope we don't get to see that this year because that roster is so deep, man. Because, man, I know. With, like Gro Profound said, how they got Teoscar Hernandez, a guy that just kills lefty pitching, is out there hitting 29 home runs last year. And, man, that's a great move, man. I don't know whether the Dodgers are able to manage to get all these guys.
Yeah, I don't know why Teoscar's, he just signed for 1 year, dude.
Yeah.
He just signed for 1 year. He had a good contract. What is that, $21 million a year? I believe
23.5. I think
that's what it was.
Yes.
Okay. I knowing that I'm a free agent, knowing that I'm still young, knowing that I can get a big contract, he decided to go. I'll do the 23.5, and then I'll go free agency again. That's kind of crazy for a baseball player. Is that suicide for a baseball player? It could be. It could be. But he's going to be in that star-studded lineup, and maybe he's going to be a lot better. He's going to have a bigger average, and he's going to ask for a lot more money. So we'll see.
True. And like you said, LA is a brand, so he's only going to help his name grow, and his market grow. So and if you really want to win in the game of baseball, why not join the Dodgers this year?
So Ryan Reyes is saying, I hate to be in Robert's shoes, and I understand completely because if he doesn't win, he's going to get fired. And that's going to be the thing for Dave Roberts. He already knows that. I think they already talked to him about it. And if you don't get to the World Series, and I think I saw it all over the place, if you don't get to the World Series, it's a bust. If you don't win the World Series, I get it. But I think, to be honest, if you don't make it to the World Series, it's a bust. You need to make it to the World Series. I know if the Dodgers don't win, we're going to hear it all year long. The Dodgers didn't win. They went and spent all this money. But don't forget that money is spent throughout the 10 years. It's not spent right now. And then it's deferred. So it's paid for the other 20 years. So
exactly. That is amazing.
So
it's like Shohei's contract's basically going to start in 2034 if you put it in. Because the $2 million is nothing for this Dodger team.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the 68.5 other million that he's going to get paid, 68 million that's going to start in 2034. So I feel like Dodgers have money to spend left and right, and they're not worrying about not a single thing. So
nah, they're not. They're not. So we're going to get to see, even if we get to go to Oakland and see the Dodgers play the A's, we're going to get to see them a little bit cheaper. But I know here in Dodger Stadium, that's going to be expensive as hell. But yeah. If you just joined us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, ask a question. I don't know. We are live. We go on live every Monday now for, looks like we're going to go on every Monday till the end of the season, I believe until November.
Wow.
So
it goes 9 months straight baseball every Monday night.
So, Ernie, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you this before we log off.
All right.
Sunday is the Super Bowl, and I think a lot of people know here that you're a 49er fan. Are we going to log in on Monday?
Oh, yeah, we are.
Okay.
If the Niners win or lose, I'll still be here. It's one of those, I've never seen my Niners win, It's kind of sad. I've been waiting my whole life for this. I feel like the Niners represent what the Dodgers are in baseball. A team with a lot of rich history, but have the past recent century have just fallen short. And obviously the Dodgers have done a lot. They won one World Series. Unfortunately, they got cheated out on 2 of them. And then the one they actually won, they call it the Mickey Mouse one. So, they don't call it the real one. So
they just do that. They just do that to get under people's skin. That's the truth. We all know it was a different play. We all know that happens. And we got another fan that's a Niner fan right here, man.
All right, World fan, let's go.
Yeah, so
Brock Purdy's the underdog. We're rooting for the underdog, and he's the last pick of the draft against Patrick Mahomes, a guy that's been in the Super Bowl 4 times already. And I think a lot of people will say they're already tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes in the.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them, dude, because I kind of tired of seeing them parading around in our division. And it's like, I'm not a Raider fan, by the way. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm the only Charger fan you'll probably know. So yeah, I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes winning Super Bowls, but you got to give it to the guy. He's really good. He's really good. He plays baseball too, and he's a shortstop. He's a shortstop.
Did you know? Fun fact: Brock Purdy's dad was actually a minor league pitcher for a long time, for 12 years.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
What team? Do you know what team?
I'm not familiar, but yeah, he spent his whole career in the minor leagues, Brock Purdy. So, hey man, he taught his son how to win and determine himself to make it to the big leagues. Also being a 7th-round pick, 262nd pick, and to make it out there, that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah. Hey, World Profound. I wouldn't want to be you, dude, because if your wife's is a Chiefs fan and you're a Niners fan, it's not going to be a happy ending for either of you. So it sucks. I mean, what can I say? Good luck, I guess. That's not even funny, to be honest. I don't know if the wife wins, then you're good. If you're a calm guy. But if your Niners win and the Chiefs lose, I don't know. You're probably gonna have to sleep somewhere else. Let's look at the other one. Let's see right here. I missed one. So Ryan Reyes, Raider fan, but I'd rather see the Niners win. And I think a lot of people feel that way because we're out here in the West Coast, So it's one of those things that Los Angeles didn't have a team when we were growing up. So why are we hating on the teams that the people go for? We can't. Now we have that team here, so we'll be able to root for them hopefully in the next 10, 15 years, and that's what it is. So we have a World Profound now. That's facts. Exactly. It's facts, man. Let's go to the next one. Actually, my brother-in-law is a Charger fan too. Okay, so two Charger fans now. There you go.
All right. Yeah.
Cow City for me. Oh man, that was funny, dude. Like if the 49ers win, yeah, couch for you. You better get a warm blanket and some pillows before the game is over. Because once that door closes, I don't know if you're going to be able to be comfy. All right, cool, man. We're not even at the hour mark, but we had a lot of stuff covered today. We appreciate everybody that's come on here and put their messages, like the video, even, just to come and see what we're about. Real Talk Baseball, we do have our fantasy shows. Those pop up on Thursday night, Friday mornings. They're not live, but go ahead and put your questions on there. That's the fantasy portion of it. If you don't agree with something that Will says or Javi says, go ahead and put it on there. We're up for the challenge. We love those comments because that kind of, it's fun, right?
It is fun. Fantasy is about a lot of opinions, and everybody has their preferences of what player you want to choose. So fantasy baseball, guys, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but on Will's show, he has mentioned that we are going to create a baseball fantasy league for our Real Talk baseball fans. So if you guys are interested in joining, feel free to reach out to us. We're going to create our own league, and there's going to be a lot of prizes. There's going to be no buy-in. It's just going to be free. No entry fee, right? So anybody's welcome to join. Feel free to message us. If you win, you're going to win probably a Real Talk baseball jersey and some more prizes. So feel free to hit us up. We're excited to have you guys join in and play with us.
Yeah. So there goes here's a flyer. If you're interested, we're trying to get 12 teams. We're trying to do the head-to-head categories. If you're really interested, go ahead and do that. Send us a message. We'll go ahead and put you in. But it's going to be fun. I mean, like Ernie said, we're going to win some prizes. We're going to get that jersey going. And we're thinking of making a cup or a trophy so you can be the Real Talk Baseball champion on that, and you can display it wherever you want. Hey, look, man, I listen to these guys. They don't know nothing about baseball, but look, I go ahead and do, and I won that league, so I think I know more than them. No, but in reality, like if you want to go ahead and do that, that'll be fun. None of us are going to be part of it. We're just going to run it, and then hopefully in the future, you can join the league where we're at, and it gets competitive. It's fun. It's really fun.
Man, so, the league that you guys play, man, I'm about to join. It's so competitive. I'm like, I have to do some homework here.
So. Yeah. Oh, I did this. Okay, I got you.
Oh, man. Spencer Steer.
Yeah.
He's a player, man. He's going to be pretty good out there.
He is. He is. And we have Ryan Reyes, man. Go ahead and send me that message. World Profound, if you want to be part of this too, go ahead and send us a message on the Instagram page so we can get you in and we can get you into the mix. But yeah, with nothing else, you want to say your last mentions or you already did?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're excited to have 2024 season coming by sooner than we expected. There's a lot of great news coming soon, and a lot of players still left to be signed. So feel free to join us every Monday night. We're going to be here. Monday night football is now over. Football will be done starting next week, and it's all about baseball now, baby. And that's the best time of the year. Anytime summer baseball, we're excited to be here and bring you the best news.
Cool, man. And I already said all my piece, and cool. I'm happy to be here in the 2024 season. We are looking to get bigger. We are getting bigger as we speak, which is cool. We're getting subscribers. We're at 500. If we get to 1,000 this year, we're going to give another giveaway. We're going to give a gift card and a jersey. So, not only if you join the fantasy league, there's other ways to win, gear from us. So,
yeah,
from all of us here, go ahead.
Sorry if you try to cut you off, but we're definitely have some more surprises for you guys, probably starting next week. So stay to tune in. We're gonna bring a whole different vibe to the show, and you guys are gonna be shocked. So get ready. And we want to thank you because you guys were one of the first ones to be here when we first started. So once you guys see the big change for Real Talk Baseball, I know it's gonna bring a lot of joy for you guys. So we're excited to bring this news to you guys next week.
All right, let me just go ahead and post this on here. Thanks for the show, dudes. And I'll go ahead and post this last one. I joined a free league already, and I got Acuna first pick. Dang.
Hey, I'm lucky.
Don't trade him. Don't trade him. Keep him. All right, from all of us here at Real Talk Baseball, I'm CarloBaseball, and this is ErnieOrange. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.